I was writing for Pat, and I heard that show. I wanted to do that show because was going to be a major nighttime network show. And I had heard that they were hiring writers. So my agent talked to Arnie Rosen, who was the head writer, about me. And Arnie had known about me, but we were not friends yet. And he told Bernie Weintraub, my agent, they were going to have a sketch on called Carol and Sis, because Carol wanted to do a sketch about her life with her sister. So I wrote a spec script, which you're not supposed to do, but when you want to make a living, you cheat a little bit, I'm sorry. So I wrote this sketch about Carol and Sis, where Carol and Harvey were husband and wife, and Sis was the younger sister, and she wanted to go to a college, and somebody was going to come to the house to interview her. And Carol was so nervous she took pills to calm down, and now when the guy comes, she can't keep her head up and is being great Carol Burnett. So they loved that script. They used it to audition Vicki Lawrence for the part, and she got it. Amazingly looked like Carol a lot. Now no, but then yes. And they hired me to do the show. Still not partnered with Bernie. That was the last show I did without Bernie, because after Carol's show, we together we produced the Phyllis Diller show. That was the first show we became producers. Writers didn't work necessarily with her. You know, we got an idea for a sketch, and we talked to Arnie, who was the head writer and a great writer, and then we went ahead and wrote the sketch and brought it into him, and then he went over it with Carol's husband, Joe Hamilton, and they approved the sketch, and then that was it. It was in the show. What Carol would always do is you give her anything and she'll make it better. Whether it's with words, whether it's with movement, whether it's an attitude. She's a brilliant comedian and also a great lady. Taped at CBS on Fairfax. And she, of course, would ad-lib that whole first segment where she talked to the audience and to Lyle Wagner. Lyle they hired as an announcer because she said she can't talk to that kind of thing. Suddenly she became so good at it, she did it, and did it a little with him, who was also a terrific guy. And perfect foil for her. He was a beautiful guy, handsome as hell, and nice man. So that was that, and then the writers would come and sit in the writer's room for dress rehearsal and then watch her do the show. Sometimes, very rarely, there's something you saw, you picked up and you brought out, and they would do that. But generally it was so well rehearsed and so well performed that there was nothing much to do. My big sketch that year was I did Superman. She was married to Superman and decided to kill him because she couldn't stand him anymore, breaking the doors when he walked into the room and everything else. So that whole sketch was her trying to kill Superman.
And that was Harvey Korman who played Superman?
Yeah, Harvey Korman in a full Superman outfit. We were friendly with Harvey, which is rare because of all the shows I did, you very seldom become personally involved. The show ends, you can do a show for 5 years, it ends and you never see any of them again, ever. But Harvey we saw, he was brilliant. Harvey was as brilliant a person, an actor and second banana as you could find. He could do dialects, he could do all kinds of characters, and very, very well. So he was great to write for, she was great to write for. And then there was the variety of the singers and the dancers who were all good. It was a good job. Well, I left the show because we were offered, Bernie and I now together, were offered a job producing a show for Phyllis Diller. That's the next step up from writing. And suddenly now we're producing, which was twice as much money, and twice as much title. And it started us in the business as producers. And I went to Joe Hamilton, who was the boss, and he was wonderful to me. I couldn't, you know. He had given me a raise in the middle of the season without even being asked. And I went to him and I said, Joe, I'm offered this job producing. I love this job here, but I think for my career, I should move up, but it's up to you. You know, if you say no, it's no, and I love and respect you, and you'll be right, whatever you say. He said, it's all right with me. Check with Arnie, who was the producer and the line producer and your boss. So I went to Arnie, told him we had the offer to do the Phyllis Diller show. And it's up to him. Will you let me go do it? And he said, sure, go do it. I said, thank you. He said, don't thank me. I'm releasing you to a face worse than death.